Good morning and welcome. This is Collin Curtis in the morning, episode 29. I am Curtis, and as always, I am joined by Collin.
Hey,
How's it going?
it's going pretty good. It's been a good week, I'd say. Went pretty fast.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, nothing too new to report. Just living the life.
Well, we do have news to report. We've got quite a bit of news, actually. This whole episode is news.
Yeah, and there's like a party, I think, at some point.
We're building up to the party, but we're not there just yet. So
Okay.
we're gonna kind of get through some of this stuff pretty quick first. Got a number of games announced for PS4 coming soon or later this year. First off is Collateral Damage.
You mean collateral damage, right?
No, I mean Collateral Damage.
Collateral damage? Oh man,
Yeah.
what could this be about?
This game's coming to PS4 on March 22nd. It's got a really great infomercial trailer.
That's pretty funny, yeah.
It's
I
pretty
really
good. Basically, it's you play as a cat, knocking things on the ground before your owner gets home.
Yeah.
So, things that cats do is like just sitting on a desk or a table and just like knocking a cup over, like knocking glass over or whatever,
Just
books,
anything you have on a table.
anything that's
usually.
on it, like that belongs in the floor in the
Yeah.
world of cats.
Yeah.
That is your job. So I would recommend watching the infomercial trailer they put up on the blog because it's pretty funny and also has some gameplay there.
There's
That
some
game
pictures of kittens also.
yeah,
in
lots of
addition.
cats. So I mean, obviously it's a win-win right there. So it's coming later this month. I guess it's $10. It's gonna have a PlayStation Plus discount when it launches.
Okay.
Divide is coming to PS4 later this year. This one, not as much info about. It's like a sci-fi, dungeon crawler-ish. Lots of like unveiling the story as you play. Looks sort of interesting. Trailer was interesting, but not really a whole lot to go on there.
Yeah, and they kind of reminded me of like Transistor when I first saw it, like that kind of gameplay, or maybe not so much gameplay, but just
not
kind
the
of
gameplay,
look,
but the look of it. Yeah.
Yep.
So. The Magic Circle Gold Edition is coming to PS4 on May 10th. So this game's interesting because the premise is basically you are a player in this RPG game that is unfinished, and the in-world development team is like at odds, trying to figure out what to put in the game and what to remove. And so it's like at this stalemate where the game is not being finished, and so it's like up to you to finish the game for them. And so you're like going around the world reprogramming puzzles and like finishing different parts of the game that are unfinished.
Yeah.
I think part of it's like the poke fun at games coming out these days that are typically not finished.
Yeah.
So that's kind of it's an interesting premise, if nothing else. So that's again kind of what we know about that game.
Yeah.
The next one's a fun one. Colin, I'll let you take this since you're the one who actually still plays this game.
So this it's kind of confusing, I guess, at one point, but basically, Rocket League is going to get a basketball mode.
Yep.
I think that's pretty awesome.
I think that's fantastic.
But it's coming later this spring, when I think March Madness will be over.
March. Oh God, that's gotta be.
That's next week.
I was gonna say that's gotta be starting real soon.
Yeah, that's next week. Yeah. Selection Sunday is this Sunday. Is tomorrow when you're listening to this.
That's
Get
right.
Hyped.
Yeah,
it's gonna be
get hyped.
Yeah.
March Madness is great. It's a great time of year. It's always fun to just, even if you're not really a huge into sports at all, I think it's always really fun just to watch it because, in my opinion, not to make this a sports show, but I've always felt like college sports is more exciting.
Oh, absolutely.
And I am a bit more prone to basketball and liking watching basketball. So college basketball is always great.
Yeah. I love college basketball. I'd say it's probably my favorite. Like, I don't care about the NBA, but I love college basketball. I'm pretty excited for this Rocket League update.
Yes, they posted an image.
Yeah, just a kind of an image of. So basically, I guess like what it is it almost looks like you have to like do like an aerial shot, basically. Yeah. What it looks like to get it in the goal rather than.
There's a basketball hoop that's kind of big and low to the ground.
Yeah.
It seems in place of the goal. So that's really. that's funny. I'm definitely gonna hop back in and play around with that because I need to play it more anyways.
Yeah.
But that's really funny. Speaking of which, so the Batman DLC came out.
Mm-hmm.
Was there actually a stadium for that, or was it just the car?
Not that I saw. No,
Okay.
I didn't see a stadium, which is weird because it really looked like
Because the trailer
something like
made
that.
it look like there would be.
I don't think there was. I haven't played it online yet, but I haven't checked in like private match if there's like a level like that. But as far as I know, there isn't one.
Okay.
But I have been playing with the Batmobile. I like it. It's pretty cool. It sounds really cool.
I bet. Yeah.
Like when you use the boost and everything, but it's just kind of another skin for another car. So.
All right. So moving on. Okay. So here's
your Collin and Curtis in the morning episode like 31 sneak peek. Where we talk about where we talk about the PlayStation Plus lineup for April. This is the sneak peek.
So Dead Star is a game that has been available for pre-order on PS4 for I want to say a couple months now.
Yeah, it's been a good
there was like a beta or an alpha like earlier this year.
Yep.
And I guess a few people got messages on their PlayStation 4 that they were getting refunded for their pre-order because Dead Star would be a PlayStation Plus game next month.
Yep.
So that's different. Like, it's not really a leak, I guess. I don't think it counts as a leak because it's strange. We've never really seen anything like that happen before.
Usually, you'd like have an announcement somewhere rather than just a from PlayStation notification.
Well, that's the other weird thing is that. I mean, this has been out for at least a few days now, and there hasn't really been, at least from what I've seen, maybe on like the Dead Star Twitter, I don't know, like there hasn't really been like a blog post or anything that I've seen. Yeah. It's been like, now that the cat's out of the bag, but so there's one of your PS4 April PlayStation Plus games.
Yep.
Did you ever? I know we had a code for like the alpha or the beta. Did you ever look into that or play that at all?
Yes, I did actually. I never did play the alpha that we got a code for, but I did play and write about this game at PAX South.
That's right.
That is on the site. So basically, like what I could almost describe it as, like if you play something like a Stardust or like maybe like a Geometry Wars or something, and like you made it a competitive, like maybe like a MOBA kind of thing. It's like capturing different outposts and trying to overrun the other bases and. You know, you have a bunch of different ships that, you'll have like a big ship that flies really slowly that's good at defending, but then you have like a scout that can fly around faster, but he's got lower health and you can capture outposts quicker, stuff like that. I think it's pretty fun. It's a PS4 PC crossplay game. So PC players can play with PS4 players, kind of to build the online infrastructure or whatever you want to call it of the game. Like so there's like a lot of players online. I think it's really cool that it's coming out as a PlayStation Plus title. I wasn't sure if I'd be like that one of those people to come out and say, yeah, I'll go throw money down for the game, even though I really enjoyed it. So I like that it's coming to PlayStation Plus, and I feel like this is I don't know if I'd call it a full like high profile release, but usually I guess I would say a game like this wouldn't be a PlayStation Plus title. And I guess I almost compare this one to almost like Rocket League, that like they're building the online community first thing by getting all of these people in as PlayStation Plus users. But yeah, I'll definitely check this out and play it some more.
Okay. And then our last kind of a news story here before we get to our main topic. Collin, Everything is coming to PS4.
Man, that's awesome. I've always wanted to play like Halo and like Mario. Man, I'm just so happy everything's coming to PlayStation 4.
Everything's available. No. There's a game called Everything.
Oh.
But
man.
you get to play as Everything. So this is okay. I'm still like having a hard time wrapping my mind around what this game like. Okay, so basically,
it had a weird trailer.
You get this world where you can everything in it, I guess, is playable. So if you wanted to play as like a cat, or you wanted to play as a plane, I guess, or a plant, or like a number of different things, you can play as it. And that's essentially like the pitch of the game, which sounds kind of cool and weird. I don't really know where it's going to go from there. I imagine some things would be more interesting to play as than others.
Yeah.
I know the blog post mentioned like the difficulty of creating a game where, typically you're using an engine that doesn't expect like every little thing in the world to be interactable and to be like controlled by a player. And so it's like the difficulty of like making sure that everything you can actually do stuff with or control, and that's kind of cool. It's super weird. I'm curious to see where like what actually this game turns into.
Yeah.
But it's coming to PS4 at some point, so I'm sure we'll talk about this game much more in the future.
And that's everything.
Almost. We've got a party to attend.
Oh, we got a launch party.
We've got a launch party. Okay,
man,
so
Curtis, I'm so happy that the PlayStation Store is coming out of beta finally. And it's actually launching. Like, the PlayStation Store is having a launch party.
Well, I mean, people said it would never happen.
Yeah.
But look at PlayStation Home.
Yeah, well, I was going to say maybe, because didn't PlayStation Home until its dying breath always say beta?
It was always in beta.
It was always in beta.
So, in recent years, we have had the PlayStation Store Spring Fever.
Yep.
And that consisted of 4 new games, usually like kind of higher profile downloadable games. And those would come out week by week over the course of 4 weeks.
Yeah.
And they would have like sales on PlayStation Plus.
Yeah.
For like users of PlayStation Plus, you would get it on sale for a little bit cheaper. And that would be like a big promotion that they would be doing to like promote these specific games. This year it's a little bit different. There are now 6 games. This starts next week, and they've changed the title to Launch Party instead of Spring Fever. I don't know why, but they did.
I don't get it, but whatever.
It's
so just kind of weird.
This starts March 15th, which is next week. Kicks off with Salt and Sanctuary. And Salt and Sanctuary is developed by Ska Studios. They recently did like XBLA games like Charlie Murder and the Dishwasher series. So this is their first PlayStation game, but it is a action RPG that is very, 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 very inspired by Dark Souls and Bloodborne. Very much inspired by those games.
Yeah.
And then the next week is Day of the Tentacle Remastered, so that's out March 22nd. And that is, of course, in the remastered version of one of the old school adventure games from Double Fine and Tim Schafer.
Are you interested in this?
No.
At all? Oh.
I think playing through Grim Fandango last year, it was like that moment of like, oh right, I don't really want to play through these old school adventure games that are like super obtuse and like not very fun to solve puzzles because the puzzles don't really make any sense.
Yeah.
And like how am I supposed to know that this hair clip is supposed to go in the blender to do this? It's, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure I've always been interested in not just Grim Fandango, but Maniac Mansion and Day of the Tentacle and Full Throttle. But I think after playing Grim Fandango last year, it was like I would rather maybe just watch these games just to see the story, rather than play it.
I pretty much would have to have a guide, and that's pretty much what I did when Grim Fandango came out on PlayStation Plus. That was the first time I was playing it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost impossible.
Yeah, it's really hard
to get through that game without a guide. I was more interested in Grim Fandango than I am of like Day of the Tentacle. But
I think the Day of the Tentacle, like the remaster, like the updated graphics and stuff, I think those look really nice.
Yeah, I think so too.
From the screenshots they put out, but yeah, I don't. Nah. Of the 6, that's the one that I have like the least interest in.
Oh, really?
The next week though is Enter the Gungeon.
Fantastic! Can't wait. That is not sarcasm.
Yeah. Me too.
Cannot wait. I literally cannot wait for this.
One of the things I'm most excited about of the 6 is Enter the Gungeon, and I've been excited about this game since it was first announced.
Yeah.
The title alone and the trailer was like, all right, I'm in.
Yep.
I'm in. And you actually wrote stuff about this game.
Yeah,
recently.
I would almost say, other than like maybe Song of the Deep, that was the Insomniac game at PAX South, I would almost say Enter the Gungeon was probably like my favorite game that I played there.
Yeah.
And I had seen Enter the Gungeon at like other events that I'd gone to, and I guess like it was almost that kind of thing where like I wanted to try it, but like there were so many people around watching and playing that game that I just never really got a chance to get in there and actually play it. But I actually got like an appointment with this PAX South. I like you know when you play like a 3D Mario game or even like a 2D Mario game or something like that, and you just know that like the controls just feel like precise and like perfect. Like you're just like, how can controls get any better than this? Like that's what it felt like playing Enter the Gungeon. Like I just felt like it just felt like so polished and everything. It was just I can't
That's
wait.
how I felt playing Assault Android Cactus, which my review is up now on PSNStores.com.
Plug.
You should check that. You should check that out.
Yeah.
No, I know exactly what you mean because Assault Android Cactus definitely has that. I've been playing Super Mario Maker, so yes.
Yep.
I would even say Salt and Sanctuary controls very well.
Wow.
So there's that. Stories: The Path of Destinies is out the week after that. It's an action RPG kind of based in a fairy tale world. You're playing as a fox. If you go back to episode 17 of Collin Curtis in the Morning, we talked more in depth about that. See if you want to hear more about that game. You should check that out. What's up next?
We have Invisible Ink, April 19th. This is a Clay Entertainment game that I don't know a ton about. But maybe you can shed some. It's kind of like,
so it is a espionage stealth kind of turn-based game in the vein of what I believe like XCOM style kind of gameplay. Like your turn-based, like very tactical. It's got a great look to it. It's like isometric view. I've loved almost every Clay game. Basically, like Don't Starve. I do really like Shank. Don't Starve is probably my favorite of them. Mark of the Ninja.
Yeah, I've heard Mark of the Ninja is really good.
I've been very, very excited about this game for a while. Super stoked that it's finally coming out pretty soon. And then the final game to wrap up the launch party is
Alien Nation.
That's right.
On April 26th, this is the Housemarque game. Pretty much, I guess you would say, pretty much like Dead Nation, but in space. You're not shooting aliens. Zombies, you're shooting aliens this time. I think we might have talked about this. Is it 4-player co-op?
I think so.
Okay, because I remember Dead Nation was only 2, I believe. Yeah, so this is like 4-player co-op. Kind of just seems like it's more, I guess I wouldn't almost say like linear, but like I feel like aliens will come at you from like all sides. It just felt like when Dead Nation was just kind of like, okay, here's like the beginning and here's the end, and you just kind of walk through and shoot. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but
well, you would hope that aliens would act differently than zombies.
Yeah,
also.
That's true. Rather than they just run at you and have the big alien that explodes when you shoot it enough times or stuff like that.
Sure.
I don't know how excited I am for this game. I was not the biggest fan of Dead Nation. I got through it on PS3. I liked it. I think Dead Nation was one of those games I actually got when the PSN went down and they gave like free games out to some people. I think I ended up getting Dead Nation. I don't know. I think it looks cool. I'd maybe try it, but
I love Dead Nation.
Okay.
I got really into that game. And the reason why I am excited about Alien Nation is because it seems to be more of that. And I'm like kind of fully confident in Housemarque's ability to create a game like that, just with aliens. And I mean, aliens are better than zombies, so
agreed.
You've got that going for you.
Yeah.
Can never have enough aliens in video games and other related media.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty excited for it. I think if I were to rank them in order of excitement, well, okay, I can do 5 because I have played and finished Salt and Sanctuary.
Okay.
And I'm about halfway through on my second character. So I won't rank that because I've already played it.
Mm-hmm.
Although you can look for a video and a review of that coming very, very soon.
Yeah.
And know that it is awesome. I would say Invisible Ink is probably like the one that I'm most excited about. And then Enter the Gungeon. I would say Stories: The Path of Destinies would be next. Just because that looks really interesting and that's something new. Whereas Alienation, I feel like I've already played a game kind of like that. Although I am very excited about Alienation, and that would be next. And then the last would be Day of the Tentacle, a remastered. So like the other ones I'm all very excited about. But I think Invisible Ink and Enter the Gungeon for me are like just at the top. Like I cannot wait to play both of those games.
Yeah. See, I've almost kind of got like a radically different list.
Okay.
I'd probably say Gungeon number 1.
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably go Day of the Tentacle Remastered number 2.
Really?
Yeah. Alienation 3.
Okay.
I'd probably go Invisible Ink 4.
Okay.
And then tied for 5th, 6th place, Stories Past Destinies and Salt and Sanctuary.
Mm-hmm. And so
that's what I'd say.
And so are you okay? Enter the Gungeon.
That's my hype index. That's part of my hype index.
But yes. You're not interested in Day of the Tentacle. So like the other ones, you're not feeling this list, or
I'm not feeling the list too much, and I would say pretty much Day of the Tentacle Remastered. My anticipation for that is only pretty much based on I enjoyed Grim Fandango.
Sure. Okay.
Which I like to play like another one of those games. But I could only see myself really buying like one game out of this list. Maybe 2.
See, I think this is like a really great list.
See, if we could get like the crew together, I would probably like, if let's say like you, Brad and Eric were just like, yep, buy an Alienation. I'll be like, yeah, I'll probably buy Alienation.
Sure. If we were all in on
it.
if
we were like all in on it. But I don't know. I just see Gungeon just staring at me.
Well, to be fair, Enter the Gungeon looks pretty great.
Yeah.
And you can vouch for it because you have played it, so you can at least vouch for that.
Yeah.
I can vouch for Salt and Sanctuary. That's something we'll probably talk more in depth maybe later on. But Salt and Sanctuary is great. I can say that there's no embargo, so I can say that I loved it.
Great. I
am very curious to see how people will react to just how similar it is to the Souls games, because I'm a little there are parts where I felt conflicted about their similarities. There are definitely some parts where it was like I think personally I've kind of fallen on the side where I'm okay with it because I would like more of these games to exist.
Yeah.
Not just from Software. Because I think Ska Studios has done a really good job of making one of those games.
Yeah.
However, if someone told me, yo, I'm a really huge Dark Souls fan, and I'm not sure I feel comfortable with how close this is to those games, like just how every little mechanic is almost the same.
So are you?
I would understand.
Like, are you thinking like it's just kind of for conversation? Like, are you thinking like it's maybe like a ripoff instead of like an inspired by kind of thing? Like, is that maybe like where you're going?
I think the thing that makes it that to me it's like I don't mind it. Well, I don't mind it, one, because I just want more of these games, but I think the other thing is because they wear it on their sleeves. Like, they're not trying to cover it up or hide it, right? Like, they're very vocal about like, we love these games, we wanted to make a game like that.
Yeah. And
they do have a few things that they change, but I don't want to talk specifically about things because I want to urge people, much like Dark Souls and Bloodborne. I'm going to do a video, and the video review is going to only show like the early parts of this game. I would recommend not watching. Like, if you want to get into this game and you're excited about it, it's probably worth it not to spoil yourself on different bosses and later areas, because those are worth discovering on your own. Yeah. But there are things that are a little bit different, but it's one of those things where I hopped into the game and I knew what it was. I knew what it was inspired by, and the more and more mechanics I would uncover, the more and more I would just kind of like almost laugh and be like, "Yeah, that's Yeah, that is straight up that thing from that other game.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's a conversation for another time. So your thoughts overall on the launch party? I mean, Enter the Gungeon aside.
I think these are good. I think this is a good selection of games to put on here. I just don't necessarily know if these are the games I'm like most interested in. I suppose. But I definitely feel like these are definitely games that I feel like should be highlighted in a kind of, I guess you would call it like an event.
Sure.
Kind of like they have it here. So yeah, I don't know. I still can only see myself like really picking up one game. But...
Well, I think this is a good lineup.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good we have different views like on this, I guess. I mean,
I don't think it's a bad lineup. Like, it's just kind of not my type of stuff.
Sure. For sure. I guess. And like for me, like Day of the Tentacle is like not. I don't really feel like that's my kind of thing right now. But yeah, I think this is a pretty solid lineup. I'm curious why they changed the name, but that's probably not super important.
Yeah.
So that's. I mean, God, this year just has not lit up. It feels like every week there's something big coming out, whether it's a PSN thing or retail or whatever. It's gonna continue. It's never ending. 2016.
It's a never ending launch party.
A never ending launch party. That's gonna do it for this episode. What are you looking to play this weekend, Collin?
So been replaying some Life is Strange.
Okay.
Playing some of that Rocket League with that Batmobile.
Yep.
And then probably just play some Street Fighter V in the meantime. Is probably what I'll be doing.
And for me, it's looking like Salt and Sanctuary. I have a couple other characters created to play through. Did a little New Game Plus. So we'll have coverage of that in the coming days. And then Dark Cloud 2, I started recently. This week, actually, I started up Dark Cloud 2.
Okay. Cool.
I won't be doing a video series for that, but I do think I might be doing a playthrough of something in the near future.
Nice.
So we'll say that. But that's probably it. I mean, Super Mario Maker also, but I just picked that up, so I've been playing that a lot too. But other than that, I think that's gonna do it. Collin, thanks for joining me as always.
Absolutely, yeah, thank you.
I look forward to talking a lot about stuff next week, considering GDC is next week.
Oh.
And also considering that the PlayStation VR event is next week.
Whatever could we talk about?
Yeah, I look forward to talking about whatever happens there.
Yeah.
And that said, thank you everyone for listening or watching.
Yep.
And we'll see you next week.
Underoos!